Shri Sarath Agarwal ji, CEO, AI Engineering Services Limited. Being a chairman of the session, I am invited on the dais, please. He is occupied the dais. May I also request the speaker, Shri Amit Kumar Das ji, Chairman Computer Engineering Division Board II Council Member. Please occupy the seat on the dais. Now may I request to Pushpender Singh, Senior GM Civil Rights, also invited on the occupy the seat of the dais. Myself is the session coordinator. My name is Subhash Chandra. Please sit down, please. Mr. Amit Kumar Das ji. Please. Please occupy the seat on the dais. नहीं सर वो जल्दी हो जाएगा, दो स्पीकर. Now we hand over the mic to our session chairman.
Namaskar and welcome everyone. Safety management system in transport. Hello. Yeah, now that's better. Namaskar and welcome everyone. Safety management in the transport. Let me speak about aviation. As I've been connected with aviation for the last almost 37 years, how things used to be and how things are today and how things will be in future. In the past, everything was more of memory based. So how an aircraft flies will essentially be depending on the memories and self-gathered intelligence. Well, last time I did this, it was not working correctly. So this time I will do something different. And the peer interaction. You know, I had this problem. I did this and this got solved. So the intelligence was more of a self-acquired one where people in peer group were acquiring the knowledge and using each other's experience. Then came a phase when everything became rule-based. That is, any issue on an aircraft, a strict checklist is coming out. The aircraft by itself is throwing a checklist for the pilot. It's getting displayed right in front of him, and he's required to follow it exactly. After landing, the engineer who is attending the aircraft, again, he will interrogate the system, come up with his own checklist using manuals. Initially, they were hard copies, and today they are soft copies. And coming up with a checklist which is to be followed to troubleshoot. How artificial intelligence is going to work now, tomorrow? The aircraft, as it is flying, it's also transmitting tons and tons of data. In fact, almost gigabytes per hour. The data contains lots and lots of useful information where something is going wrong, and a software is analyzing that and is generating alerts. So even before the aircraft has arrived, a checklist is available with the technical staff to know what is to be attended. Now, how the things are going to work in future? Once the aircraft has transmitted the data along with the troubleshooting information, and the technical people troubleshooted using the data, and in case the feedback is given back to the software. That is, okay, the software was suggesting that engine is about to fail. But upon landing, the engines were checked, and it was found that this engine is even fit for another 1,000 hours of flying. A correction is required in the software. As the number of aircraft flying, just in India, there may be at least 1,000 civil aircraft flying in the world. I don't know what's the figure like. In case this data is collated all over the world, the experience gathered from whatever is coming in, and the system acquires intelligence using the feedback which is coming from the actual information, we are heading for the next major step, the artificial intelligence in civil aviation. So with that, I open the forum. And now what's going to be the sequence?
Thank you, sir, for briefing of the session. Now may I request Sri Amit Kumar Das ji. He is one of the speaker. He is chairman, Computer Engineering Division, IIN, council member. He present his paper, Artificial Intelligence in Aviation Safety Applications. Please.
Respected Chairman, Shri Agarwal ji, other dignitaries on this dais, and respected ladies and gentlemen present in this august gathering, a very good afternoon to all of you. It's indeed my pleasure to present something which is very core to my heart. I'm a IT professional, so I deal with data also, and by virtue of my working in aviation field, I have got some understanding of this subject. I don't claim to be a professional into it, but yes, I do have some understanding, and I will try to put in some recent developments that have been occurring in this field, that is artificial intelligence in aviation safety applications. Please note that I am bound by some ethical rules, so I may not go very deep into what we do, but yes, this is something that I have got from published literatures, and I am sure that this will give enough food for thought for all of you. As you all know that aviation is one of the safest mode of travel. I'm sure if you can Google, it will show that, by statistically, aviation is a very, very safe mode of travel compared to other modes, number one. Number two, technologies are more embraced in aviation. So if you see, compared to other modes of transport, aviation is a highly sophisticated technology advanced transportation method. And take any field, not only in IT, but in other things also, they have taken leaps and bounds in embracing things, whether it is digital marketing or e-commerce or e-ticket, the paperless ticket. So everything came first in aviation. So no doubt, even the computerization that has happened in aviation was before the bankings even took place in 1960s. So what I want to stress here is that aviation has been forefront in embracing the latest things, right? And no doubt it is giving safer things, but any incident in aviation happening, it becomes a news. A simple road accident may not gather that much interest, except the Cyrus mystery case, but any aircraft related issues definitely causes attention all over the world, isn't it? So with this perspective, I start my presentation. So today I'm going to mix the what is AI part and how we are using it in aviation safety. Okay, so we'll discuss what is AI, what is ML, machine learning, and then we also discuss how things are in aviation safety management, and how we can or how we are leveraging things with this to make things better, and why. The most important thing is why. I remember in the last session, we heard that from one of the speakers, 3 Ps, isn't it? Prevention, protection, and projection, right? So that's true. We are going all, safety is all about prevention as well as protection, but what is the projection? What are the blind spots which we don't know? So those are important things that are supposed to come out from the this implementation of this AI ML technologies. So I have gone through some recent papers published by NASA and other relevant ones who had done one of the study involved JetBlue Airways, and I have brought it out in a small format. I will not take much time. So first of all, when we say AI, what do you really mean by AI? So AI is nothing but applying computer technologies into developing something which will mimic human intelligence. That's it, isn't it? And AI is basically a study. It's a discipline, and in that AI discipline there are various sub-disciplines. One of them is called the machine learning. So machine learning is what? So machine learning is not like it's not like forecasting. It's something like from the data itself, it's trying to learn. Okay, not only it's forecasting, it's more of predicting. You're coming from if some of you are from analytics background, they will understand that we have a descriptive statistics, descriptive analytics. Okay, and then we have the we go to the prescriptive analytics, where we can say, okay, decision making. So this can be done like this. And from prescriptive, you go to the predictive analytics. So where you can predict based on what is happening, you can predict. As Chairman sir was telling, we were initially into those days where we were doing heuristic, manual. Okay, I feel that this should be the correct process, that is done. Then came checklists, manuals. So you had those manuals where you can, okay, you have to tick. Did you follow this rule? Did you follow this rule? You did not go for runway incursion and all. Those things were followed. Now what? Now based on based on the data that is flowing in from each flying, there can be certain places where we can find out more insights. So that's those are things where machine learning can come into picture. And machine learning, as you can see from this Venn diagram, it shows that there are 2 more things, which is TM and DM. So those are basically something called as text mining or data mining. Now understand that, and I'm sure you guys come to know these things now. Structured data, unstructured data, like Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds. These are all your unstructured data, sentiments and all. How do we incorporate those things also? There are structured data like table format or something that comes out from a normal generations. So reports coming in, those are structured format. But there are many unstructured data. There may be text, for example, what the pilot speaks with the ATC. What is the tone? What are the words that are spoken? What are the times during distress? What are the symbols? So those type of text data are also there, which can be useful and that can be mined. Okay, so text mining and data mining. Now this is the basic, and I'm sure all of you use this AI in daily life. Well, it's not that we don't use AI. All these examples are from real life that we use. So Netflix, Amazon, even in your WhatsApp you use the Google text. Whenever you're typing something, it will automatically come the words. Even in the Gmail it will automatically, start coming. So what's it? It is just based on the people's writing text, and they are able to make out how the sentence will be. So if you write with, it will automatically give regards. So but the system knows that after with you write with regards, something like this. Similarly, nowadays we use Grammarly. I think young generations are, we don't care how much grammar we know, but we believe in Grammarly. To correct, I have seen personally that 50% time I will miss the, the, I miss it out. But Grammarly corrects that, okay, you have to put the from that, right? So that Grammarly, we use this. So these are basically what? These are all machine learning only. Virtual assistant, Siri, Alexa, we all use that nowadays. And latest is this self-driven cars, automotive cars, how they will avoid collisions and all, how they will respond to the conditions of road. So these are all, they are learning, they learn. So the difference is that, the algorithm that is built in the background, they are basically capturing all the data, and based on that it is training, the model is training, and then it is giving, okay? So that's how things work. Now, these are some common examples that we know. These are some examples that I found we are using specific to aviation safety, okay? So that is a natural language processing. As I said, natural language is whatever we are speaking. That can be, that can be taken in. I will show the flow chart also. That can be taken in, ingested into a system, and that system can interpret whether it's based on the sentiments, whether it's a distress call, or what are the frequently used words, or what type of sentiments are coming out. So those things can also be analyzed. So that is natural language processing of incident and accident reports. Statistical content analysis, which I will go deep into it, how they do text mining to airline safety reports, because we are talking of airline safety. So we will have these airline safety reports, how they are being worked out, and how AI is helping that. So that is the second one. This study uses airline safety data of the JetBlue Airways. This is a study recently conducted. Application of ML for, whenever I say ML, it's machine learning. So ML for aviation safety risk metric, automatic text classification method for aviation safety data, so they can find out what is the, which word has occurred many times. Based on that, we can filter it out. Last one is very important. It is basically, which I will discuss also. It is basically, how do we really embrace AI? Unless we understand AI, we will not be in a position to embrace. So that is a prototype for verification and validation of AI-based aviation system. So we try to validate whether the AI is working perfectly or not, whether we are able to understand what is the background that is happening. Okay, so as I said that airlines or aviation is the safest mode of transport. Having said that, there is a very well-structured safety mechanism in place. So ICAO is a body under United Nations, International Civil Aviation Organization, which is the the body which oversees the overall civil aviation in the world. It has mandated that any occurrence, any safety-related occurrence should be reported. Okay, so it is reported, and these are filed, processed, and and evaluated so that the knowledge doesn't go waste. So whenever there is any safety incursions, so it's not only that crash. It can be as little as maybe runway incursions or something like that, or there can be many things. So all these are taken in and then they are studied. But as of now, all these were done manually, and you can understand that voluminous reports are coming up. And how voluminous? So there are too many reports. So there are too many reports which is very difficult for humans to understand. Not humans to understand, I will say. You see, our mind is a very good computer. Everybody knows that. You know, when we talk of, you know, taking decisions, say from going to Delhi to Noida, we know that we have either you can take a cab, or I can take a metro, or I can, you know, take my own car or something like this. But, you know, based on your experience, you have gathered that knowledge, right? But still, over the period, you see that, you know, you will use Google Maps, isn't it? Because you know that even with best of my knowledge, even maybe I am going at the midnight also, maybe I will take help of Google Maps to give me a better solution, something like this. So what I mean to say is that our mind is a computer, but now that we have a better computers, why not leverage that? So what we can do as a man, as a person, we can go through those reports. A computer can go through it in more structured format. It has more computation power. It can be more without bias. Every person has a bias also. So it may be without bias also. So all these, the reports that are getting generated, and when you try to search, it will be very difficult as a person to all do the searches and, you know, maybe arrange things based on whatever knowledge has come. So this is what happens as of now. If we try to restrict our search, if we make the search very narrow, we may be missing the bigger picture. If we make the search very broad, then we try to be taking too many things into picture. So we really don't know what is the best fit. Okay? So now, where we can use this? So once we have a data, we have sets of data, and then we can probably, based on the existing algorithms, already a lot of algorithms have been developed, we can try and check it out which algorithm fits in our case, and then maybe we can try to, you know, churn that data. And I will show you later how, you know, the whole of process flow. So the thing is that whatever exceedances that are happening, okay, are taken into fill, and then okay. So all these exceedances are taken into things, and then we try to understand how much vulnerability has happened in the past. And based on that, we try to understand the severity of a situation. Now, this is the present process. And then let me come back to the present, what is happening now. Each flight, as Chairman Sir rightly said, that each flight is generating gigabytes of data. Understand, gigabytes. It's not simple. 1 GB of data for each flight operated is a huge. And this is nearly twice of what used to be happening for an aircraft manufactured, say, 10 years back. So now, with more, you know, software integrated aircraft, the data generation is much more than what used to happen in earlier analogous days. Now, this data is taken in, and again, not only the flight data, we also take in other sets of data like weather forecast, what was the weather, maybe radar surveillance, what were there in the around areas, what was the radar, and then SOPs, what are the existing SOPs. NOTAMs is basically notice to airmen. So these are advisories raised, which runway is closed, or certain advisories. So all this taken control, plus pilot safety reports, what the pilot files at the end of the each flight. So all these are huge data. Understand that, you know, at least 1,000 flights, as Chairman Sir said, that there may be 1,000 flights, 1,000 aircraft which are flying every day, and you can understand how many flights are there. So all this data taken up without in a manual process would be, you know, very next to impossible, I would say. So with the advent of the better technologies, this is the process flow that happens. So you get all the various sources of data coming in, and then you probably put them in either structured form or in as a large data set where you cannot, maybe you cannot make it as a database format, maybe you cannot keep it in a proper structured form, maybe you could keep it as a JSON format, or maybe you can keep it as a large object files. So you can keep those. So from that there is a data fusion. All data that is coming out. And remember, 1 GB of data per flight. So it's a huge data. So all this data fusion comes in, and what you do with that data? With the data, we have all developed, the mathematicians have already developed, certain algorithms. We all know something like basic was like regression. We used to do in 11, 12, regression and forecasting we used to do. But these are now highly matured. It's it's high. They can understand. They can partition the data in 2 parts, take a test of that, and then see whether it makes sense in the other data set. And that's how they try to learn. So that is a churning, and from that, it tries to throw some result. Okay, it tries to throw some result, and then based on that result, you can get some what if. And based on that what if, you can probably take decisions. So that is the overall, macro process that happens. As I was speaking at that time, about how we ingest the voice data. So there is a simple format. So if you have audio, they are ingested, and then they are text to, speech to text conversion happens, and then once the speech is converted to text, then it can be all mixed with the flight data, and you can generate certain insights into that. And now coming to yes, so coming to this, that what's the benefit? What we are doing has to have some benefit. What we know is up to certain extent. What we don't know is the area where the ML helps us. So there are certain points where it is providing that previously undetectable. So existing processes probably were not able to detect those exceedances, but now with this data set, we are able to find out those exceedances as well. So those were the blind spots which were not visible earlier.
Sir, please.
Yes, I will take 2 minutes, sir. So what I explained, this is the statistical way of representing. So this is the statistically normal, which is evident to all of us. And this is the known problems, which is all known to this. So the gray area is something in between. This statistical normal, again I repeat, is something which is known to us. Known problems, known to us. But there is a gray area which comprises of one false alarm, which is correct, but we think it might be a wrong. And there are some things which problems are unknown to us. So this is the area, this unknown problems, that is the benefit of using the ML. Again, I am representing the same thing in terms of flow chart. So you have anomaly detector, something which is normal, sorry. So something anomaly detector, something which is normal, perfectly fine, but there is something which is anomalous, and then we can, from this is the AI part, where it can say that, okay, don't worry, this is a false alarm, and this is something which is, this is really wrong. So this is the place where ML comes into our help. Okay, so having given this broad view of what ML can do, understand that any embracement of technology is not so easy. Even in the last session also, the speaker said that the helmet was made, the use of helmet came in because there was fine, isn't it? So, we as such, we don't try to embrace, even in the rear seat belt also, we will not try to embrace probably, unless and until there is a challan. So it's a human nature. It's not personally to do with someone. It's all a human nature. So here also, embracing ML needs certain time, because we don't understand how things are working. So these are some challenges that I feel which we need to overcome. And once we probably do it, even the regulator will not accept. There are certain places, as I say that if it shall be difficult to get clearances for field operations from certification personnel. So even if I apply something and say that, look, hey, I go to the regulator and say that, hey, I feel that this is an exceedance report. This is an exceedance. They might not, accept us. They will say that we have our manual which says that this is our exceedance. So this needs some discussion and awareness. Only then we will be able to overcome these challenges. And to conclude, definitely AI is going to stay. There is no other option. Data analytics, these are going to be the buzzword. Next 10 years, we are going to be in the data era, and it is to be there, and it is best that we slowly embrace this. That's what I can say. And this has ramification. This is going to be helpful. You will get with more data. Sorry, it has gone. I'm sorry. Just before slide. So with more data, the models will get fine-tuned, and it will help us into getting those blind spots which we were missing out. The bigger picture is missing out. So those blind spots will get in. So with that, I end my this small session. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We highlighted the issue of the aviation sector safety. Now, may request Bhupinder Singh, Senior DGM, Rights, present his paper, Safety to be Observed in Metro Construction Projects.
Chairman, sir, all the dignitaries, all my seniors, colleagues, and everyone present here. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to present a brief presentation on the safety in the metro projects. Now, we have seen safety is important in all the aspects. In all the infrastructure projects, let it be roadway, railways, building projects, and highways. In every field, it is very important. But how is it important in the metro projects? Because in metro projects, we have very limited space. Generally, it is very congested area, and all the cities are heavily populated. There we are planning metro. So there is space constraints and many more things are there. And in the given situation, it becomes very difficult to construct the metro, as well as we have to follow all the safety guidelines and all the things, and how to construct the metro. So now I'll be discussing brief about the safety, like when we are starting the project, then how we are barricading traffic diversions, how we are dealing with the utilities encountered during the construction, like piling works, pier works, and all the things. So in every stage of the project, how we are going to conclude and how we are going to make it safer while construction. And apart from these, we will be discussing about the environmental and health issues also for the sustainable development. So whenever any person enter to the site, so it has safety induction has to be given. He has to be well educated before entering to the site. Then medical checkup will be done. He will be wearing proper PPE. Now PPE will be having all the helmets, eye protection units, then vest to be worn, gloves have to be there, and obviously safety shoes. And apart from this, when we are working on the height, so chin straps have to be there, appropriate hearing aids have to be there. If there is noisy area or too much sounds are there. So these are the general and minimum PPE requirements everyone has to follow at the site. So this is how the barricading is done while starting the projects and during the construction. So a barricade has to be prepared, proper lighting arrangement has to be there. Then you see all the blinkers have to be there. The retro-reflective signages has to be there, so everyone is aware. And it is safe for construction as well as for the public and all the other dealing persons. And all the major and critical locations, traffic marshals have to be there. So they will guide the public not to go this side, they will divert the traffic. So these are some of the photographs where this barricading and traffic diversions are being done in the daytime as well as in the night time. As you can see, this portal is being constructed. So the road is blocked by these plastic barriers and it is diverted to the another side so that no unauthorized person can enter into the site area. Next comes the utility. This is very important aspect. While the construction is going on, we have to be very sure that wherever we are going to construct, where piers are there or any other metro facility has to come. So all the utility survey has to be done, where the utilities are coming, what kind of utilities are there, whether it is cables are there, pipelines are there, because any damage to the utility which are critical may create a hazard. Like it can create flooding, road collapse, fire, power. So before construction, this utility survey has to be done, and during the construction also, it has to be checked by the utility trial trenching in all the locations. Now what happens at few locations, lots of utilities encountered. Then what we do, sometimes we adjust the span length. Some piers are, let's say 25-meter spans are there. Then we'll go with the, okay, 25-meter span, this is the utility coming. So if it is unavoidable, then we'll go and shift it to 31 meter, let's say, or 36, even 37 meter. So, or that kind of arrangement we have to follow. We will change the span length. And even sometimes it becomes very difficult that we are unable to, even after changing the alignment, then what we do, then we detour the alignments. We go to the different sites, we find the alternate solutions that here too many utilities are there, we'll go into some other field. Then we'll find some alternate route where less disturbance is there, and accordingly we'll go with the utility works. This is the board piling with the polymer support. So after the utility area is barricaded, wherever the sites, like you, if you can see, this area is barricaded. So before the construction, the area is isolated and only authorized person will go there. And all the rigs, whatever we are using, so this TPI certification rig has to be there. And before the work, it has to be ensured that yes, rigs is certified, the operator is competent, it is having proper license, all the MTC, green tax, everything, these things have to be checked. Similarly, while this boring is being done, then rebar cage lifting, then tree concreting has to be done. Here you can see the cage lowering is going on. Then with the help of this, you can see these pipes are the tree pipes. Then the concreting will be done. And what will happen, after the concreting, the concrete will settle and all the unwanted, you can say contaminated concrete, this will come out. So once the piling is done, so contaminated concrete, this top is exposed, then with the help of mechanized driller and chisel, this is being cut and it is exposed. Then this part of the concrete, it is appropriately broken into pieces so that to transport it to the safer side and vacate the area for ready for the construction. this you can see the pile cap construction is going on. The area is barricaded, and after the this reinforcement cage, then this construction is done. What we do now, there are new techniques. The couplers we are using while tying the reinforcement bars. So this help to reduce the length of bars also, and also it is more economical and advanced technology. Here in pier work you can see, first this form work is made, then after form work, it is with the help of boom placer, this concreting is done and the pier is being constructed. Lifting plan is very important when we are working on the height or some part or some cage, rebar cage, or any eye gutter or something. If we have to lift, so for that we have to check before the crane comes into the operation. Then how we are dealing with the nearby areas. We have to see all the fields are clear from the no building, no obstruction is there, nearby trees are not there, or some major utilities, that kind of things are not there. So after checking, we have to see if it is a roadway work or railway works, we have to ensure that proper blocks we have to take, power cutoff we have to take, so that it is safe to work and without any hindrance we can work. Crane capacity we have to check. Now what happens, sometimes cranes are very aged. So if cranes are aged, then their capacity is reduced, their rating is reduced by 10%, say 20%, even 25%, depending upon the age, so that it is safe for operation. Then counterweight, boom opening, how much boom has to be opened, how elongated it has to be done. So all these things have to be checked very carefully so that no hazard happens and all the construction goes smoothly. All the cranes has to be, third party inspection has to be done for cranes and all lifting tools and technique, everything. Calibration certificate has to be there. The crane operator has to be very competent, and it is having proper licensing and certificates to work and operate such huge heavy machineries. In this figure you can see the LG erection is happening with the help of the ground support. The first initially this LG launching girder is being erected. Then after the LG erections, the test blocks are being done. After test block, the segments, you can see this is the segment. So once it is certified that it is capable of lifting the load, then only the segment will be lifted and will be placing. Apart from that, during the construction, now electricity, site electricity, it is also very important. What happens, now proper arrangement has to be followed for to avoid short circuiting or any that kind of thing. Double body earthing we have to ensure. Similarly, 3 core cables we have to adopt, body earth connections and resistance checking. All the barricades, light post, gantry, we have to provide the proper earthing arrangement so that no hazards happens. Similarly, use of the RCCV for safe in case, so that the current is broken, it is not passed. And even if it is passed, the amount is very limited so that it is not creating any shock. Use of MCV is normal. No point has to be kept open. Proper plugs, sockets, these we have to adopt. It has to be water resistance, like IP44 compliant panel for all the distribution boards, etc. Similarly, when gantry cranes or at the silos location, these lightning arresters we have to provide so that it is properly going into the earth. While we are working with the hot works like this welding works or some joining or barricading for temporary works during constructions, so proper permit to work and all the, we have to follow proper PPE, goggles, gloves, everything we have to wear. Similarly, the gas cylinders, it has to be calibrated, all valves, keys, double pressure gauge, everything has to be checked properly. Storage of the cylinder, it has to be kept in the shade so that no mishappening happens.
Please finish within 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Just one slide. These are the SHE communications. So what kind of this fire extinguisher we have to use? In case of water, foam, dry powder, there are many types. Depending upon the type of fire, we have to use this. Apart from that, environmental monitoring, like I said, for sustainable development, we have to do whatever waste material, we have to keep it in the proper place. Noise, air monitoring, and all these things we have to do. These are some of the photographs for sound and this air quality and lux monitoring. While coming from the site, all the vehicles have to be washed properly so that it is not creating dust or that kind of heavy participation pollutions. And health checkups, it has to be done for all the staffs or during all the site, everywhere this arrangement has to be made. Similarly, for labor welfare also, proper drinking water and these rest area, bathroom, toilet, everywhere, we have to keep all the provisions for safe and hygienic conditions. So this safety, what happens, generally behaviors are ignorant that nothing will happen, okay, we are okay with that. So that attitude we have to avoid. So we have to train, we have to persuade, then discuss, and we have to tell each and everyone that no, this safety can create hazards, so that everyone is aware and aware of all the ill effects of all these things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Pushpandar ji. ये है issue, major issue, safety concern of the construction in metros. Now, may I request to chairman of the session the sum up of the speaker's talk.
Before we sum up, I think, there are some questions. So, sir, can you?
Sir, one or two questions.
Okay. Okay.
Supplementing your presentation, aviation safety, how the AA is using aviation safety. That's the issue which is coming. I consider two major points. One is operation. In the case of turbines, the aircraft turbine, the blades are getting cracks, or blades are getting distorted. It induces vibration and life is going down. This AA helps to detect and give a warning. That is one of the major things. Then second thing is safety-wise efficiency. Efficiency of the turbojet. How best the efficient it is working based on the flue gas analysis. There are some samples are there. They measure it and it gives a feedback to the computer. Right. So in the engine is taking more fuel. Engine is taking more air. That is the second part. Third one is operational safety. Operational safety, matlab, what I am telling is the loading factor, structural factor, and your sequencing, and the traffic. All these things are helped in the artificial intelligence. There is one of the major thing in the aviation field, safety. AA plays a major role. This is what I want to tell.
Very true, sir. Very true.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. So, thanks Amit ji and thanks Pushpender ji. It was really thought-provoking. First of all, whenever I read any history and we talk of any construction activities, we read that this construction was done in this year. It took these many years to complete. This much amount was spent on the end. One more statistic always is there. These many people lost their lives. In a way, loss of life was just a statistics. So I must compliment at least the Telemetro. The safety in construction was taken to new heights there. What happened in late 90s, And the way things were being done by the Delhi Metro, we had never seen any similar thing in India being done. Civil aviation, yes, it's one of the safest mode of transport. But I think a railway train is safer than that, not the civil aviation. And I must say the Delhi Metro is significantly safer than anything else. Let's hope that things keep progressing. The major safety features are required for road transport as well. Yes, seat belts have come in, the airbags have come in, but then still, I think there are lots and lots to be done for road transport to make it safe. So with this, I bring the session to the end. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Now, may request to Chairman of the session, token of love to our speakers, Mr. Amit Kumar Das. Present a memento to Amit Kumar Das. And thank you, sir. One again request to Chairman of the session, give a memento to Pushpinder Singh. Rajput sir. May I request to Sri Aran Rajput ji, Convention Chairman, to present a memento to our session Chairman.
All is integrated. How safe are the roads? How safe are the drivers?
But previous speaker told, because this is our habit, that we are not getting our tire checked and we are blaming the roads. We are not checking our vehicles and our mentality that how to drive on the good roads. So just before this session we had, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, can you start? We are going to start a new, our last technical session because we are rushing up because we have to close all our activity including validity session by 4:45. I think all speakers for the sessions are available.
Again, good afternoon. We have started the session 6. This is the last session of this 3 days safety convention. The topic is construction safety. May I request to Chairman of the session, Dr. K.M. Soni, please occupy the seat on the dais. He is a former ADJ retired from CPWD. Co-chairman, again request co-chairman Sri Manoj Kumar ji, Chief Engineer PWD, please occupy the seat on the dais. Now there are 3 speakers. One speaker Sri Pradeep. Parasdeep Kumar. I am name correct, sir? Parasdeep. Project Manager, SCC KP Station. Safety is present. Please occupy the seat. Sri Ashok Kumar Tripathi ji, former Chief Safety Manager. He also present paper in safety in construction. Please occupy the seat. Mr. Amit Kumar Roy, Assistant General Manager, HSC Ahmedabad Metro. He also occupied the seat on the dais. Session coordinator on the way, Mr. Aman Rajput ji. We have सर के साथ सोनी साहब के साथ हाँ प्लीज करवा दे ऑन हो जाएगा Now may request to chairman of the session, Dr. K.M. Soni, sir, welcome our speakers and co-chairman, others. Please, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are in the last session of the seminar, and I have 3 speakers, eminent speakers, and co-chairman too. We are discussing safety in construction. More or less, safety everywhere is similar, but when we talk about the construction, we also talk about safety, structural safety, including SHE or HSE, whatever you call it. So HSE plus structural safety becomes important in construction. And when we talk about the structural safety, it is safety during construction or execution of the project. And also now we are talking about life cycle safety of the structure. Particularly when we talk about the construction or execution, it is a different type of safety, particularly design plus execution. But when we talk about life safety, it includes safety during disasters, whether it is earthquake, it is wind, it is cyclone, it is landslides, or anything. So in safety in construction has 2 aspects. One, that is we are to prepare before construction. And that is the point we are not able to, in fact, it still remains unresolved. Safety probably in construction, we think that it should come, it should always come, whether we talk about safety in metro or in road construction or in building construction or anywhere. But how does it come? Does it come through morality and responsibility? Then if it is coming through morality and responsibility, then it will automatically will come. But it is not so. Because business and morality doesn't go simultaneously. Business principles are different. Earn the profit. And morality is based on social responsibility, social service. Nobody will do social service when he is in business, because principle of business is to earn the profit. So we can take out this concept of morality and social responsibility. 2. The next is that it should come through fear or penalties. Even earlier speakers were telling about the penalties. Yes, it works sometime. We know that in Delhi, penalty of 500 rupees is there if we do not wear the mask. How many of us are wearing the mask? Probably none, or maybe 1, 2, maybe some of us. When we came here, we were wearing the mask. When we entered, we removed. So when this penalty doesn't work, when mass of the people are not following it. It is happening in our construction also. Most of the contractors, we know, they are not following the safety norms. Some of the companies, yes, they may be following. But then penalty and fear, these implementations are through when they are few. Offenders are only few in numbers. So this is, we know, we all who are in construction, we know that we are not able to implement safety in construction by most of the contractors, through most of the contractors. Even when we are there, sometimes people may be sympathizing to someone, or maybe some corruption is there, or may not be. Some people say, "Are jane do," because as an engineer, we know that our performance is related to the project management. Project must be completed. So sometimes we also say that, "Chhod dijiye, project complete kariye." Then what is third, which we have not, or partially we have implemented? Third is pay for the safety. We do not want to pay for the safety separately. Sometime we discussed, and we were discussing for a long time now, that for minimum for some of the items we should pay for it. For barricading, we included the item in DSR, and we are now paying, and it is getting implemented. Then we thought, why don't we include safety nets or barricading or scaffolding nets? We included that item, and this is being paid. So this is the high time that we find out the items which can be paid. And if contractors being paid, let me tell you, that is implemented. So probably we need a mix of two, maybe penalty plus payment. Some of the items may not be possible that we include in the payment, like PPEs, but some of the items may be included indirectly in the items. So maybe that we implement the combination of two, that is penalty plus payment. And then maybe once most of the companies or most of the contractors are able to implement the safety in construction, then maybe that we switch over to some other mode. With this background, I think we have three good papers and eminent speakers. I'll invite them to make their presentation. So Subhash Chandra ji, please take over, and then I'll request to my co-chairman to close it. Thank you.
Now may request to Speaker of the Day, Mr. Mr. Tripathi, Ashok Kumar Tripathi ji, present his paper for the safety in construction. Please.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman of this session, dignitaries on the dais, and dear participants, good afternoon to everybody. And So let me extend a strong welcome to this session on the safety in constructions. And I am A.K. Tripathi. Just within 2-3 slides, just I want to introduce myself. I am A.K. Tripathi, consultant EHS. And I am 76 batch BTech Chemical Engineering from ITBHU Varanasi. Then 1986 batch Post Diploma in Industrial Safety from State Council of Engineering, Technical Education, Government of West Bengal. Specialization Certified Lead Auditor, 14,001 2015 and 45,001. Professional experience 7 years as a chemical engineer with Kesav Rayan, Birla Group of Industries, and more than 3.5 decades as an EHS professional in construction field of national and international repute. Almost 35 years with L&T Constructions, Macon, and Baking India, etc. Some other companies after my retirement. Present assignment at present working as a construction safety consultant with MSEHS Cares with April 2009 after my superannuation from L&T, a firm dedicated to provide environment, health and safety services to the corporate and community as and when required. And I am the association with professional bodies. I am member of the working group of Bureau of Indian Standards for Health and Safety Management, CD 29 P1 WG4 with effect from 16th April 2009. 3 courses have been published under my coordinations. I am Vice Chairman of the National Safety
Sir,
Council of
please
India,
come on the paper.
Delhi chapter,
We will circulate this. Your
and
biodata.
Indian Red Cross Society live members, Indian Society for Economics Calcutta live members, Society for Promotion of Safety, Health and Environment, Delhi registered farmer.
Sir, kindly, Sir, Tripathi ji, we are requesting you to please come on the paper. We'll circulate your biodata, please.
1 second, sir. And thanks. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the management and the team of the Institution of Engineers India for providing me an opportunity to share my experience in connection with the safety in constructions during these sessions. In fact, sir, this subject is very vast. After engineering and after B degree and having 2 years experience, you have to study 1 year for the safety engineering course. Clear? Here I am going to complete within 10 to 12 minutes only. So only very salient issues I am going to touch here. Let us start because safety in construction. So why safety? Because our ultimate aim is to complete the project within the given time schedules, maintaining the cost factors, etc. But how safety finds a place in between? This is an important issue. How safety comes into the picture. The only purpose is to avoid accidents. Nobody wants to avoid to see the accidents in the factory. What is accidents? It may be known to all of us. It is an event, it is universally accepted definitions, an event which is unplanned, undesired, unexpected and uncontrolled, which may or may not result in damage to property or injury to persons or both in course of the employment. This is the definition. Clear? Everything, planning is required, but for the death and accidents, no planning is required. We don't know when we are going to die. Okay? When accident is going to take place. Other things are not known to me when. For everything, planning is must. To avoid accidents, just a clip we can have a look in case it opens. नहीं खुलेगा नहीं खुलेगा नहीं खुलेगा तो दिक्कत हो जाएगी माउस काम करेगा सर लिंक है फिर हाँ नहीं खुलेगा छोड़ दो कुछ नहीं खुला फिर आगे
लिंक छोड़ दीजिए सर, आगे चले प्लीज। कैंसिल कर दीजिए सर, हैंग हो रहा है।
चलो छोड़ दो, आगे बढ़ जाओ। यहीं हो गया अभी।
फ्रिज खोल। ये सर इससे और ये हो गया।
हाँ
ये भी हो गया सर।
हाँ हाँ ठीक है, ये देखिए। फिर नहीं खुलेगा?
सर लिंक वीडियो नहीं प्ले होगा सर।
नहीं खुलेगा तो छोड़ दो, फिर हैंग हो गया।
नहीं
वीडियो नहीं खुलेगा, फिर वीडियो नहीं दिखाएंगे, छोड़ दो।
वीडियो नहीं प्ले हो रहा सर, वीडियो लिंक नहीं है फिर।
कुछ नहीं खुलेगा, ये खुलेगा ही।
ये तो खुलेगा।
हाँ कुछ नहीं खुला है।
एक मिनट
सर, यू कैन शेयर योर एक्सपीरियंस अदरवाइज।
हाँ हाँ अभी देखिए खुले, अभी कैसे खुल गई? कांट प्ले नहीं
ये नहीं है, लिंक नहीं है सर। हाँ ठीक है सर, पीपीटी बोलिए
सर। वी हैव रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑफ टाइम, काइंडली कोऑपरेट।
ठीक है,
वी हैव टू क्लोज दिस सेशन एट 4 PM।
कुछ ये खुलेगा ही नहीं फिर तो सर, एज फार एज व्हेन एक्सीडेंट इज कंसर्न, इट इज हिटलर्स कमेंट, थिंक पॉजिटिव, it shows correct way. Think positive, it shows correct way. Think negative, it shows safe way. When we are going to think about the accident, then always we have to think about the minus sides. Clear? The real issue in present scenario attracts attention towards changing risk tolerance behavior. This is the real issue in everywhere, whether it is industry or construction work. Changing means chalta culture. It is the real issue which we are facing. Changing risk tolerance behavior. Let us have the case of the Sapurji Mistri, such a well-known personality. वो भी नहीं खुलेगा, कुछ नहीं खुलेगा। हाँ, yeah. 4th September 2022. Cyrus Mistri, farmer, had 2,000 killed in a car crash. The reason he was not using safety belt. I am safety professional, have more than 35 years experience. When on the rear side, I am also not using. I was not using. I thought I am safe. After this incident, my entire concept has changed now. First of all, immediately after entering the vehicle, I use the seat belt. So this is the real issue with everybody. And Mr. Gadkari, Nitin Gadkari now need to make travel safer by improved roads design, 6 airbags, and we will soon notify the fine for not wearing safety belt in the rear sides also. After that accident, this concept has started coming. The real issue in present scenario is attention towards changing risk tolerance behavior. Initiative by the organizations, how it starts in the organizations. 4 phases of development has been addressed by the DuPont broadly curve. Safety always starts from the reactive stage only. When something happens, then we start thinking, otherwise there is no time for anybody to talk about the safety and accident prevention. Nobody will listen, because I have experienced this. In case some serious accident has taken place, then everybody will start talking about the safety. This is the real issue. Safety starts from the reactive stage. Beginning, safety by natural instinct, completion is the goal, delegated to safety manager, lack of management involvement. Then after when this improvement comes, then we come to the dependent stage. Reactive stage, we are transferring to dependent. How management commitment, condition of employment, fear, discipline, rules, supervisors, control, goal, value of all people, training. Further improvement, independent stage comes. personal knowledge, commitment, standard, internalization, personal value, care for self, practice, habits, individual recognitions. And the last is fourth, interdependent. What is interdependent? Help others confirm, being others. Suppose in case someone is in the rear side of the cyber mistri's car, he is using his belt. He can just suggesting, sir, you use please your belt. This is this last stage. Means I am okay, I'm taking my care, but I have to care for my colleagues also. Care for others. This is the organization pride. This is safety journey. Now let us talk about the Hammurabi Code. Date back 1700 BC, hand-to-hand concept was there. If a house collapses due to construction defect, the builder shall rebuild at his own expense. If the collapse causes death of the owner, the builder shall be put to death.
सर थोड़ा जल्दी करवा दीजिए 2 मिनट में
If it is, sir, it
बंद
will
करना
take
है।
minimum 10
हाँ,
to
4 बजे
15
की
points.
restriction है
Otherwise, let me
सर
stop here. Because sir, everything wants time, na? 15, 20
Sir,
minutes.
sir, we have been asked to close this session at 4 because of some VIPs coming here. Please cooperate.
तो बंद कर दे भी तो 5 मिनट दे दीजिए बस. If it destroys property, the builder shall restore. If the construction does not meet the needs and a wall falls in, the builder shall strengthen the wall. Let us talk about, this is the last slide, safety at national level. How safety started in India? I think most of the people may not be aware about this. How this concept came into India. Safety needs leadership and commitment of the top management. 1962 22nd session of Labour Minister Conference recommended for a conference on safety in factories and setting up national safety councils. What was the reason? Dr. Radhakrishnan was the president, the then president. In newspaper, you could see that 400 people have been died due to collapse of structures or building. After 1 week, 300 people have died due to fire in building. Being a president, he called the Babu Jagjivan Ram, he was the labor minister. Can we do something? Because he was helpless. Being a president of India at that time, he was not able to take any decisions also. Just he called Jagjivan Ram, Babu Jagjivan Ram, can we do something? Otherwise, just we have to see the newspaper, etc. Then he told, sir, give me some time. He started asking his secretary, etc. Then after some time, they suggested, sir, let us have one safety councils. What they will do? They will promote safety awareness among the industries at the national level. Because there is no other solution than this. Only creating safety awareness is the real solutions. Then this was the conference, 11 to 13 December 65. Then began one 3 days conference for the safety only it was held. The President first conference on industrial safety organized in Delhi from 11 to 13 by the Ministry of Labour, Government of India, in cooperation with the state governments, employers, organizations, trade unions, and institutions concerned, had affirmed that there is a consensus of opinion in favor of setting up National Safety Council. What they accepted? After 3 days discussion, they came to a conclusion that safety is the responsibility of the management, but with the active cooperation of the workers and with the sanction and support of the government, and agreed that a National Safety Council should be established. They could have taken decision, let us keep one safety professionals. In case accident takes place, sack him. But they did not take such decisions.
Please, again, I request you please close your presentation.
Then the National Safety Council was set up. 72, first time after 6 years they celebrated the first, then 51st this year. Okay, let us close because there is time constant. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we request to Mr. Pradeep Kumar to make the presentation.
Namaskar, sir. Respected chairman, co-chairman, dignitary on dais, and seniors, and all attendees, ladies and gentlemen. I, Prasadeep Kumar, I am in charge project manager of Delhi Metro project DC06 and DMRC. Contains project assessment, project team objectives, problem facing, innovation measures, and outcome project. My small presentation, not big, only innovation of the safety. I expertise from the experience of last project, accordingly implement such thing in our project, and I want to make our project as world class. World class. I always thought our project is world class. You can see our project of Delhi Metro project as a world class. Our casting yard, our station, our launching shaft, our already TBM is running inside the old age of building, 15 years old building, but no crack even found in the surface. All equipped system is going on, all occupied system, automatic system, aviation system. Last time I always tell, aircraft में ऐसा जाता है, ऐसा होता है, TBM भी नीचे से जाता है. TBM को पता नहीं कहाँ जाना है ग्राउंड में, आसमान में चलता है हवाई जहाज, नीचे में TBM चलता है. वो भी वेल कंट्रोल सिस्टम में चलता है और अपने डेस्टिनेशन को पहुँचता है. तो हम स्मॉल ब्रीफ यहाँ करेंगे, सेफ्टी का इनोवेशन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की बात करेंगे, और ज़्यादा नहीं है, जो हम लास्ट टाइम जो हुआ है उससे सीखा वही उसी को आगे लेके जा रहे हैं. ये मेरा छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन है. एक प्रोजेक्ट मेरा छोटा सा है, EPC प्रोजेक्ट है, ट्विन टनल 1.4 किलोमीटर का, एक अंडरग्राउंड स्टेशन है, कटन कवर है, रैंप है. ये अवश्य व्यू है. लेफ्ट साइड देख रहे कॉरिडोर, लेफ्ट साइड जनकपुरी स्टेशन वेस्ट, एंड दिस साइड लॉन्चिंग शाफ्ट, 2 tunnel, then Krishna Park station opposite to Kesapur Mandi. This is the corridor project to RK Ashram. Up to RK Ashram, connect to RK Ashram. This project going to connect to RK Ashram. Project team objective to follow all safety protocols and measure as per contract and IM system of SCC. To find gap in existing safety practice and improving the same, to enhance safety by using innovative technique and using the technology improve the safety of site, issue biometric GPS, etc. Major safety issues in our project DMRC execution. Last time execution the project in CC30, तो वहाँ पर क्या पहले क्या होता था, बायोमेट्रिक सिस्टम नहीं होता था, हम लोग बायोमेट्रिक यूज नहीं करते थे. तो बायोमेट्रिक यूज इसीलिए करना चाहा कि एक्सपर्ट जो है खुद ड्राइवर है, खुद आके चालू करे, हेल्पर चला लेता है, कोई कर देता है. तो लास्ट टाइम CC30 प्रोजेक्ट में बना रहा था, एक दिन नाइट में क्या हुआ कि TBM पार्क किया हुआ था ट्रांजिट मिक्सचर, वो एक हेल्पर आया चालू किया, वो TBM गिर गया लॉन्चिंग शाफ्ट में, और गिर गया TBM, और क्या हुआ कि स्ट्रक्चर में फंस गया, वो स्टट वाले लगे हुए थे, फंस गया. हमने 5 बजे आया, रिस्क्यू ऑपरेशन को चालू किया. उसमें वो हेल्पर है जो चिल्लाने लगा बचाओ बचाओ. फिर 6 घंटा का रिस्क्यू ऑपरेशन किया हमने, उस आदमी को बचाया. बचाने के बाद फिर ऊपर आया वो, फिर उसको खरोच भी नहीं लगा, वो ठीक हुआ. लेकिन बाई ग्रेस ऑफ गॉड बचा, न कि अपने से बचा, भगवान ने उसको बचाया. अब साइरस मिस्त्री जी का है केस कि कैसे मर गए. सब लोग बोलते हैं सेफ्टी बेल्ट नहीं लगाया, तो बोलता है क्या नहीं लगाया. लेकिन मेजर क्या है, क्या मेजर है कि उन्होंने एक्सीडेंट किया? मेजर से तो कोई जान नहीं रहा है. तो क्या है कि हम लोग ड्राइवर नहीं हैं, हम लोग साहब बैठे हैं, सारे लोग इंजीनियर है या कोई है, हम लोग ड्राइवर नहीं बन सकते हैं. लेकिन हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि खुद ड्राइविंग चलाना चाहते हैं और खुद ड्राइविंग लेके चल देते हैं. उसमें बहुत हमारे दोस्त कलीग्स बहुत का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है. और इसी तरह सारे मिस्त्री का जो ड्राइवर था वो डॉक्टर लेडीज थी. वो डॉक्टर ड्राइवर तो नहीं बन सकता है ना, वो तो टेंशन बहुत सारा है, बहुत फ़ोन आते रहते हैं, बहुत खामियां होता है। तो हम तो रिक्वेस्ट यही करेंगे कि सबके पास पैसा है, सब कुछ भगवान दिया है, तो एक ड्राइवर रखने में क्या जाता है। एक कनाडा, अमेरिका, लंदन तो नहीं है ना कि यहाँ ड्राइवर नहीं मिलता है। यहाँ तो 18,000, 20,000, 10,000 में ड्राइवर मिल जाते हैं। तो हम लोग को एक नया सिस्टम एडॉप्ट करना चाहिए कि हम लोग ड्राइवर नहीं हो सकते, ड्राइवर के काम ड्राइवर करेंगे।
सर काइंडली शेयर योर प्रोजेक्ट केस स्टडी दैट इज इंटरेस्टिंग।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। यस सर, ये है सर जीपीएस सिस्टम। दिस इज द इनबिल्ट जीपीएस सिस्टम इन डंपर। एक डंपर में जीपीएस सिस्टम को फिक्स करते हैं, उससे पता चलता है कि मेरा किस स्पीड में गाड़ी जा रहा है। स्पीड का लॉकिंग पीरियड है 40 किलोमीटर पर आवर से नहीं ज़्यादा जाएगा, हम लिमिट करके रखा है। और क्या है कि हमारे यहाँ से क्या होता है कि मक लेके जाते, सॉइल इधर उधर बेच देते हैं लोग। इसके कारण है कि जीपीएस बताता है कि गाड़ी रियल डेस्टिनेशन में जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है। तो वहाँ जाने के लिए जीपीएस इनबिल्ट किया, हमने इनोवेशन किया है मेट्रो में। ये है सर जीपीएस सिस्टम। और जीपीएस सिस्टम सर ये बायोमेट्रिक सिस्टम है सर। ये बायोमेट्रिक सिस्टम थंब ऑपरेशन से कंपिटेंट ड्राइवर ही चला सकता है, दूसरा नहीं चला सकता है सर, जो प्रीवियस हमने बताया सर। और पहले पुष्पेंद्र जी ने सारे कुछ बता चुके हैं, तो डिटेल बोलने की संभावना नहीं है। ये है सर क्यूआर कोड, क्यू रिस्पेंस कोड बोलते हैं सर इसको। क्यूआर कोड ये है सर कि जब मेरे इक्विपमेंट और व्हीकल जो भी हमारे साइट में देखेंगे तो क्यूआर स्कैन करेंगे तो उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन आ जाएगा आपका मोबाइल में या स्क्रीन में कि डिटेल क्या है, ड्राइवर कौन है, क्या है, कब इसका टीपीआई हुआ, कब नहीं हुआ, क्या क्या सब डिटेल है सर। आफ्टर द रिवर्सल कैमरा वी आर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग न्यू रिवर्स कैमरा। सो मेनी एक्सीडेंट डन बाय रिवर्स। डंपर रिवर्स में जाता है, जो आदमी का एक्सीडेंट होता है, तो हमने इंट्रोड्यूस किया है रिवर्स कैमरा। ये एलयूपीडी आरयूपीडी सर, ये नया सिस्टम टेक्निक है एलयूपीडी आरयूपीडी कि जब व्हेन इज टायर्ड सी द पिक्चर सर, व्हेन इज टायर्ड वो एलयूपीडी जो 2 रड लगा हुआ उसको एलयूपीडी आरयूपीडी बोलते हैं। पीछे में वो गैप जो चैनल डाला हुआ है कि कोई आदमी जा नहीं सकता टायर के पास, इसके लिए एलयूपीडी को इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया है सर। और कोलिजन डिवाइस जो हमारे यहाँ जो इम्पैक्ट व्हीकल है, जो हमने सेगमेंट शिफ्ट करते हैं जहाँ दूर से, तो उसके लिए हमें इम्पैक्ट व्हीकल रखा है, सारी इक्विप्ड है, वो आगे के चलता है और पीछे पीछे टेलर और पीछे से अदर गाड़ी से रहता है कि रास्ते में कोई एक्सीडेंट ना हो। और लेफ्ट साइड में देखेंगे कि हमें सेफ्टी अवेयरनेस सेफ्टी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम ए साइड का है सर, जो मेंटेन किया हुआ है साइड का। ए व्हील वाश जो दिखाए थे, ऑटोमेटिक व्हील वाश है सर। जब गाड़ी इस पर खड़ा होगा ऑटोमेटिक वो चलने लगेगा, देयर इज नो नीड ऑफ एनी a safety part. This is a safety part. You understand all the safety equipment in all these things lie here, sir. And outcome, ultimately outcome, project come, outcome, profitability come to safety. Ultimately safety में outcome होता है सर कि प्रोजेक्ट अच्छा चला, फटल कुछ नहीं हुआ, फटल फ्री हुआ। आई एम ए सिविल इंजीनियर, बट हम सेफ्टी को लीड करते हैं सर फ्रंट से। और हमारे प्रोजेक्ट में फटल फ्री अवार्ड, सो मेनी अवार्ड आई हैव टेकन फॉर रिगार्डिंग सेफ्टी। थैंक यू सो मच सर। थैंक यू सो मच सर। Million safe hour, improve the work productivity, lastly improve the motivation of workers. Conclusion है सर, safety तो thank you all.
Thank you so much sir.
Guys, chairman.
Thanks a lot for timely presentation.
Thank you sir.
Timely completion.
Okay.
A round of applause for our Rajdeep Kumar sir. Thank you so much sir for your brief to the audience. Now may I request Arvind Kumar Roy sir. He is the Assistant GM, Afcon Infrastructure Limited, Ahmedabad sir. He will give a case study presentations. Sir, over to you.